Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. Brothers and sisters, we're very, very happy to see you again. It's a new week. This is Thanksgiving. In America, people are really celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday, even though the holiday is on the 28th, but people are already preparing and people are traveling to different cities to meet their families so that they can celebrate. In fact, the Thanksgiving holiday started in 1621 in the United States when the pilgrims came from Europe. After the first year, they gave thanks to God for bringing them to a new land. Things were really difficult because the new land was like a wilderness, but they were able to survive. So they decided to break bread and give thanks to God on Plymouth Plantation, which is where most of them, the pilgrims, had their first Thanksgiving. Okay? So we're going to start this tradition since our show is starting in America. What is going on? We're going to start very, very close to home. Much of what is happening in America today is the Trump impeachment machine is on. It looks like after we return from Thanksgiving, the Democrats are going to crank up this machine, and the hearings again will be in full force. So we know that things are going to be tough. So we know America now is looking like a divided nation. You also have the Democrats, then you have the Republicans. The people are not really focusing much attention to the rule of law. So it looks like the Democrats really want to impeach the president. But by contrast, the Republicans are not really paying attention to the Constitution. They just feel loyalty to Mr. Trump. And it looks like most of them who are really running for re-election, the Republicans, are really afraid to criticize President Donald Trump because they are afraid of his Twitter machine, that he may use that to demolish them, then they will lose the elections. Most of these Republicans are really power drunk. They don't want to leave office. They don't really believe in principle. Consequently, America is becoming more and more a divided nation. And of course, Mr. Trump is going to be facing a lot more challenges. And we know, we tell you, don't allow any of the parties to take you for granted. You have some rich guys like Tom Steyer, who is a billionaire. He has been attacking Trump, and he has been running a lot of ads on television, telling the citizens of the United States to impeach Mr. Trump. This week, there's another heavyweight who has entered the Democratic presidential race, and this is Mike Bloomberg. We knew about Bloomberg when we started investing on Wall Street. His company provides a whole lot of information to stock investors. The Bloomberg Reports is a very good publication, which most people on Wall Street are familiar with. And he is already spending more than $29 million of his own money to try to beat Trump. And it looks like he has a lot of money. I call him Mr. Moneybags. Compared to Trump, Mr. Bloomberg is a very, very rich guy. Trump is more like a pauper because Trump may just have a few billions. Michael Bloomberg has so many billions. And so he's very, very rich. He's been the mayor of New York for 3 terms, and he's a very moderate guy. He ran New York very well. So he's going to offer a very serious challenge to Mr. Trump. So we just worry that this election is going to be really interesting. And we are telling you to watch. When we look at this election, we are telling you that the issue that we see is the rule of law. On this show, we've always made you pay attention to the rule of law. We've said that Africa is weak because most of the countries do not exercise the rule of law. What is happening today in America is really a situation where the president is accused for having broken the law. When you break the law, you should be accountable. That's the message of the Democrats. Okay? Nobody is a king in America. In fact, when the founding fathers created the American nation, they wanted to have a powerful executive, but they did not want to have a monarch. Okay? Because they have left the old world, which is Europe. In the new world, they wanted a new form of government. And that's how they created the presidential system, which is in experiment today in the United States. So when we look at this issue, what Trump has really done is a crime of bribery and corruption. So we're also going to look at Africa's heritage of bribery and corruption. That's the subject we're going to look at on the show of today. When we look at bribery and corruption, we look at it like a colonial legacy, okay? When we look at it as a colonial legacy, we're looking at 3 periods. So think, you have the pre-colonial period, which involves the indigenous phase of Africanhood. Then you also have the slavery phase within this period. Then after that, you will have the colonial phase, which involves the time when Africa became a colony to most of these European powers. And that's mostly after the Berlin Conference, which resulted in the scramble for Africa. Then later, we have a third phase. The third phase is the post-independence era, which is the time when most of these African countries became free or they became independent. But even though we know that most of those countries were not really independent, what they have is the hopes of independence. A country such as France did not really allow the African countries to be independent. They instead sold them a pact for the continuation of colonization. Okay? So this becomes now the neo-colonial period of bribery and corruption. And when we look at Africa today, one of the reasons why it's difficult for most African countries to take off is bribery and corruption. It's difficult for the rule of law to take place. When an individual becomes a president, he doesn't want to leave. He uses the colonial powers to play his game. So, in essence, he doesn't obey the law. He takes orders direct from Paris. Paris tells him what to do. He doesn't care what the citizens say or what the people say. He feels he is the law. And that's the sad part of Africa, because we don't really obey the law, so bribery and corruption becomes a problem. But what we find interesting today is the fact that Africans are fighting back, okay? Africans are fighting back, okay? When I look at a country such as Mali, in 2011, François Hollande brought his French military to rout out Africans in Mali. But today, the guys are back in full force. We just got news that a lot of African freedom fighters killed so many French soldiers, which are considered sinners, okay? They killed so many of them in Mali. Then there was also a helicopter accident, which resulted in the death of so many French soldiers. What are they doing in Africa? Most of these people in Mali, they want the French to return home. France has no business in Mali. They are in Mali because they want to suck the blood of Africans. And the Africans now want them to return to Europe. France has to return to Europe because that's where their country is. What are they doing in Africa? So it's time for France to leave Africa alone. And that's really the lesson most African freedom fighters are teaching France. The example of Mali is very, very clear. From 2011 today, every week there's an incident happening in Mali where the Malians want the French to leave. And the Malians have not really forgotten when the French overthrew their leader, Modibo Keïta. So since then, Mali has never really been a stable country. One coup d'etat after another, okay? But finally, the people are fighting. They are fighting very, very hard. So the whole Sahel region, they may claim they are fighting Boko Haram and Islamic jihadis. But these people are freedom fighters, and they don't want France to stay in the Sahel area. They want France to leave, because they know that France is there just to exploit, to collect all the resources, the natural resources of Africa. So that's why they want them to leave this whole area. Even Burkina Faso has seen the rise of insurgents in that area. And all these people are Africans who are against French colonialism. So they want France to leave. So it is. Let's look also at Cameroon.
Life insurance money secrets of millionaires and billionaires exposed. Discover how America's rich and famous exploit these arcane tools to build fabulous wealth. Why should these big white guys have all the fun? Let Prince Ojong, the celebrity author of The Miraculous Millionaire, show you the little understood life insurance way to riches. Are you still doubting the good things that life insurance can do for you? Trust strategies, estate planning, 401k rollover, annuity contract, cash value, education funding, executive benefits, income protection, life protection, living benefits, mortgage protection, tax-free retirement? Think and grow rich with life insurance. Your amazing journey to wealth begins by calling Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131.
Cameroon also is a very typical French colony. A typical French colony because before independence, they dreamed of a free and united Cameroon. During the 1950s, the French connived to kill all these freedom fighters of Cameroon. They installed a puppet called Ojong. And since then, Cameroon has had problems because the independence of that country was aborted, okay? Cameroon never really had true independence. The French installed Ojong, then later on, when they got tired of him, they replaced him with another puppet called Boumayeh, who has been in charge of this country since 37 years ago. And he's still there. A few days ago, we saw him during the meeting of CEMAC, which is their monetary union. His pants were falling off. In fact, his pants were falling off like twice, and they were struggling to help him put the pants back up. So it was just like a ridicule. At the age of over 86, why can this guy not go in peace and enjoy a quiet retirement? What's he doing ruling a country? It's because he's a French puppet, and the French feel like if he leaves now, they will not have a good replacement. So they are waiting until, say, they arrange for his son to take over, then he can retire into the sunset. But for now, he will stay and keep creating trouble for his people. Already, we have so many newspapers in Cameroon, which we're going to share with you right now. When you look at a lot of these newspapers, you see that much of what is happening in Cameroon, the war in Ambazonia is going on, okay? But they are behaving as if nothing is really happening in that part of the country. And so they are behaving like all is well. But that's not true. When you look at the major newspapers, they're all telling you about municipal and legislative elections coming in February. How are these elections going to take place when there's so much chaos in the country? There's chaos in the north, there's chaos in the northwest and southwest areas also. So how are the elections going to take place? Well, the train is already being derailed, okay? The political train is already being derailed. Some of the parliamentarians who are from the northwest and southwest areas are already boycotting the elections. Maurice Kamto, the guy who said he won the election, the last presidential election, has decided that MRC, his political party, Mouvement pour la Renaissance du Cameroun, is not going to participate in the elections. So they're going to boycott these elections because they want to really expose the sham elections that take place in this country you call Cameroon, which is a French state, puppet state, okay? So there's going to be a whole lot of stuff. The government is trying to use money to buy these politicians so that they can take part in these fake sham elections. Some of them are taking the money, but there's so much chaos going on, and you're going to see even more chaos as we go along. In fact, we want to draw your attention to a good video that some of you sent to us. It was showing us the video of a guy called George Tabetando, who is the chief of a village, and he's also a parliamentarian. He goes on his knees. George Tabetando, Chief Tabetando. We know some of these people because these are people who went to colonial university during the early 60s with our parents. Imagine, our parents have died and gone, but people like this are still here creating problems for the young generation of today. You can see Tabetando going on his knees to beg for forgiveness for the people of Manu who are hiding in the bushes to come back to the city so that La République soldiers can kill them. When we look at this, you see these are just crocodile tears. Tabetando has really enjoyed the country. He is really swimming in a river of the people's blood. This is really blood money that people like this have. But they are not content with the money that they have. They still want to play games by asking people to come back to the city. Watch for a moment.
May I take the message for all the children. Where did they for push? Make them come back home. Make them know make them begin solve the people. I don't make them. I don't make them. They don't give me their number. I don't make them so they say my name don't bad. They didn't talk now about my you say not bad place. make them come out at the big time. So that make peace a be start from Manu and spread the whole of Cameroon.
He's said to be the chief of Bachua, and you can see him going on his knees praying and begging for the people for forgiveness. But this is the same person who said he had asked the Paul Biya regime to cut electricity and the internet in this part of the world so that the people should be in darkness. So why is he going on his knees and pretending to cry to invite the people to come back from the bushes? This is all pretense, what we call crocodile tears. So all these people are fake. It looks like it's a tradition in the CPDM party. Their master, Paul Biya, sends them to go out and kneel down to tell the people they care about them when we know they don't really care about these people. So this is all fake. The people that the people should really worry about is Sisiku Ayok Tabe. And you can see his manifesto. He believes in his cause. Even though he has been locked up in Kondengi, he still shows that he loves his people and he believes in the Ambazonia cause. So these are the people that you should have confidence, not Anglophone fools who are slaves to the Biya regime. You don't have to respect people like those, okay? So now, we're going to move now to Ambazonia. When we go to Ambazonia, Ambazonia is happening because the people of the Biya regime do not want the Anglophones to live in peace. And as a result, when they started killing the Anglophones, they decided to fight back. And they are already fighting back quite a bit. Even though La République invited French soldiers to come and help them, we hear this week there was real drama in Lebialem. Field Marshal, hero Field Marshal. You can see the videos of Field Marshal. After the battle, he came out unscathed, he was clean, and he told his people, I'm still fighting, they could not kill me, I'm still here. But a lot of soldiers from La République were killed. We have a military convoy. You can see so many military vehicles driving away from Lebialem through Chang back to their territory, carrying so many corpses. You could see school children watching the vehicles come around. They were just hiding all the corpses of soldiers who died in this battle. We understand over 1,000 soldiers from La République were sent to Lebialem to go and look for Field Marshal, and they met their Waterloo. So many of them were killed. Field Marshal designed a very, very good strategy. He broke the territory into many parts. Then he put his guys in all those areas. Then they slaughtered all the soldiers from La République. It's a really big shame when you see all these vehicles from La République driving back from the war front with the dead corpses of soldiers inside. Then you ask yourself, this is just one little guy. Why is he able to do all of this to the almighty La République? It's because when people believe in their cause, they are ready to fight.
Yeah, today now on the 25th November 2019, where the La République don't come for attack Red Dragon today. For before here, you get the great Field Marshal, the king himself, where he don't survive. They will see the battlefield up to now. Now we want make a for some understand say he's still there alive. We man not hear panic. King, what do you get for tell your people them for some minute don't get no panic.
Okay, I salute all Ambazonia people. Now me Field Marshal at the talk. Republic soldier they be think say if he enter my camp again and then they go free. Today they come throw Adurankung for people where they know Adurankung, the Bangwa people. They come through again Kubuku. Come out as Zikam for come try to defeat circle the Red Dragon. But they don't know say for Adurankung. The fancy and can get them. Ebidede. But they be there with their Indian numbers. They enter inside as they reach for Durankung. The fancy come out to blow them because they be around 5 a.m. in the morning. And before 5 a.m. in the morning, the other people will enter through Kubuku. The fancy them they open for their skin for Kubuku. And then they sleep, they break. But by that time, we don't be prepared to for go face-to-face battle with them. As I tell you now, me Field Marshal at the talk. Republic, if it only born na matras, born property, but forget Field Marshal with the Red Dragon. That one na big life for them. But I tell them, say when they don't enter quarter, let them wait me for Chang. Let them wait me for Bafusam because I go live war now for inside the BLM. I go Chang. When I the year as my gun them they see come out. Now the fancy that when they see come out as well. I tell you when I say I see them for inside battlefield. Now Fontem and so when you this, we don't ground them. They were almost about 400 and something, but we don't battle with them where we're today. But Fimasha with the soldier, were they alive? Although I never yet see all them, but I know say all them they see there for free. Thank you. May God bless for now. Now Fimasha from Ambazonia at the top. Ekelebe, Republic soldier, we go kill one. Go kill that. Nonsense. Bye bye, Ambazonia.
The American Undersecretary for Africa, Nagy, said you cannot kill an idea militarily, okay? There's no way La République is going to win the war in Ambazonia by using military power. Fake dialogue is not going to solve the problem. La République needs to engage in real dialogue with the Anglophones. If this doesn't happen, then the war effort will continue. You can even see another video of another guy called Chacha. Chacha also is challenging La République. Chacha is saying that they're going to keep fighting, and he was also brandishing his weapons.
When I look am very well, and if when I look into my video, when I see I'm say Chacha, na man picking way, the fear no nothing. I know the fear what you are this year. I know they hide my face. When I don't kill innocent people, then when I snap them, post them for Facebook saying na Amba. When I feel kill Amba, military at the top for when I the year, when I oversee more, when I don't ever kill Amba. Amba when I Amba like me, my picking them. When I look and when I see me. When I don't feel kill me, when I don't feel kill my person when I Amba, I make a me when I know something. Person when I Amba, I see something when I work at the center for Facebook say some people they don't drop their arm. Who feel drop your arm? Who feel drop your arm? Who? Feel put the Bible for down. The person know who they were, the person decrease. Who feel carry the arm like you want to drop and say one walk. If when I want to walk, church I will give when I walk. Now we can walk when I give when I don't finish all people them. When I give one for who them. But that people the way they don't kill them. All that blood them when I will pay. Now church at the talk. All that blood them when I don't drink them. At the tell atanga you na the year. Make them be you the year. All that blood them for Amberland where you don't drink them. You will pay that blood.
Then of course, you're going to also look at some of the people who are really crying.
What happened? Where are you?
I'm in Bambili near the Fon's Palace.
What happened?
The military have just entered into our house. They have break all the 4 doors. They have taken all the eggs that they were on top of the fridge. They took my phone, took all my SIM card, took all the money that they gave me for food. Then for 400.
How much was it?
The 400,000 that was on top of the bed, they took it all.
Okay, Cameroon military came and they came back to steal. Now soldier, and then this was some country. It's a disgrace. Country people make una hear, una see them. Now their handwork this. Now for Bambili, 13th November 2019. Now for day, it happened for day. Then come for day, then fry egg give them. Samaritan walk, then fry egg give them. Then go inside fridge again, thief meat, thief egg.
Yesterday, the 22nd, 2019, we are in Saturday, we are in my 12. See what the forces of law and other those that they are there to protect the population, but they have come to destroy. See, like the buy and sell them in my 12, they have destroyed everything. I'm sure that the world is watching. I'm sure that the world is watching. I would like to put it on record and on everything that the world is watching. They have frustrated people's life in Santa in my 12.
Then you can even see pictures of a soldier who pretends to be a tailor. They try to undress, they use all type of tricks just because they just don't know how to capture the Amber boys. But the Amber boys are very, very clever. They look for ways to run away from them. They hit and run, they hit and run, they hit and run. So sometimes the Republic soldiers don't even know what is hitting them. And they don't even know where the Amber boys are. So we're just telling La République to know that you cannot only fight a war against your own people. The only way out of this struggle is negotiation. If you negotiate, things are going to be well for all of you. So now it's time to really think about negotiating, because things have gotten to a point where the guys are not afraid of the French anymore. They are ready to fight the French, and they are fighting now and killing the French. So it looks like, from what we're seeing now, the guys have just decided to kill as many French people as possible. Out of frustration, they just want to be killing French people. So if you're a French citizen, you are warned, don't go to this part of the world because you end up getting killed, because they are really bent on killing French people.
Hey, yo, Shape, I thought you was gonna take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states where it's born, he even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
Okay. Then, of course, we want to draw your attention to Congo DRC. A few days ago, a fight broke out because you still have rebel groups fighting in the east. But the people were angry because the UN peacekeepers were not able to keep the peace. Protesters just decided to go and break and burn the buildings of the UN in Congo DRC out of frustration. Because this war has been going on for too long, and the Congolese people are tired. They've been dying, they are tired, and they just feel like the UN peacekeepers are not doing a good job protecting them from the rebels from the east. And we think Mr. Tshisekedi needs to really take the law into his own hands and try to handle this problem. Because if he doesn't do that, more and more people are going to be dying. Congo DRC, as we've told you on this show many times, has a lot of resources. If these resources are not really managed well, if the government doesn't control those resources and share them with the people, there's always going to be fighting in this part of the world. Then we're also going to draw your attention to Chad. We saw a picture of children trafficking in Chad. You see a plane that was supposed to whisk away so many African kids was caught before it was able to fly off. So you see what happens in Chad. Too many African kids were almost taken into slavery. Watch the video and enjoy it and see what our people are going through. Is this a good thing? We don't think so. Then we're going to draw your attention to Nigeria. Okay? It looks like Mr. Buhari responded to one of our points, one of the points we made in our last video. So he said he's not a dictator, he doesn't want to run for a third term. Okay, don't run for a third term, but just free Sowore. That's all we want you to do, free Sowore, and we'll be happy. Then something to that may really be nice for you to know is a conference on witchcraft. As we're coming to the studio, we got notice that the University of Nsukka decided to organize a conference on witchcraft. So this announcement drew so much attention. So people were talking about it on social media, on all the channels. They were talking about this conference on witchcraft. But we don't know why our people are making so much ado about witchcraft. Witchcraft is a part of society. Even Jesus Christ acknowledged the presence of witches and wizards. So in European society also acknowledged the presence of witches and wizards. In America, during the colonial period, they also remember the presence of witches and wizards. So this should not really be like something strange. But this conference generated so much attention to the point that even the Christians were against it, the Muslims were against this conference, but finally, the people came to their senses and allowed the conference to take place. The conference drew so many people from different areas. They could sell a lot of books on witchcraft, which I thought probably it was good for the edification of the people. They were able to learn a little bit about witchcraft. But at the same time, before we end this show, we want to show you some Africans who got talent. You can see a video of a guy playing music with his mouth organ and drums, simple drums that he built with containers. This is nice. You see that Africans have talent, right? Then I'm going to show you another video again. You see a little child who made an earth excavating equipment, which is like a caterpillar. So you see how Africans have talent. So the guy is using this to dig. So if we can use this talent, we'll be able to do bigger things than what the white people can do. Okay? So we've told you our people have talent, and that's the challenge we have for you on this show. Use your talent to invent. Use your talent to create. That's the only way Africans can get themselves out of the hands of the bloodsuckers I call the French people. Okay? If you can do this, it will be great for Africa. And we salute all our people. We cannot end this show today without saying thank you to all our subscribers and viewers. You guys are doing a great job. You're sending us a lot of videos. You're sending us a lot of pictures. And we're sharing these pictures with all our viewers and subscribers on this show. We love it because of you, we don't have to hire any people as journalists. You are our citizen journalists. Continue sending us information. We're going to keep sharing this information. So many of you are sending us information, and we are making use of all this information. You can see it yourself. Some of the information that doesn't appear on this show, we're going to upload this information on our website, and we have our web domain, theafricannation.com. So if you cannot find your information on this show, know that we've uploaded it on our website titled theafricannation.com. So we ask you to continue to support this show. Some of you have been asking us for business advice, and we are working with you on that. So continue working with us, and you're going to realize your business dreams. So we thank you very much. Before we go, know that we do a lot of businesses and support the businesses that we do. We're in the tax business, we're in the insurance business, and we're also in the real estate business. So we want you to join us to support these businesses. If you call us, we want to tell you how you can participate. Soon it will be tax time, and we'll be preparing taxes. So we want you to be part of our income tax preparation network. Whether you are a tax preparer or not, we can show you how you can make money participating in our income tax preparation network. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. May God bless you.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.